Hello, everyone, and welcome to League Review. I'm your host, William, and today we are talking LMS. And boy, was it a rough week. And also, we're almost on time today. Nice. Getting better at that. Took a little nap this afternoon because I was exhausted. But anyway, let's talk LMS. Last split, spring split, didn't know a thing about LMS outside of Flash Wolves. I knew Mad Team was not great in the Worlds, and I knew G-Rex was about as good as 100 Thieves. So that's all I knew coming into LMS last split. First week, 6-0. After watching a full split of LMS, learning all the names, or most of the names off the top of my head, knowing the playstyles and learning all the teams. First week, 2-4, with both wins, incorrect game amounts. And that's essentially how analysis works. Yeah, so let's get right into this. There's so much red. So much. It was so bad. First up, we had HKA versus Mad. HKA came out swinging, and Mad finished right where they or started right where they finished. Where all of Spring Split last year, Mad was always number one team record-wise, but they always kind of played down to their opponent's level. Very NC State-like, if you're an NC State fan. And just there's a lot of professional teams do this, where they'll just play down to their opponent's level. And in this first game, it was just a straight blowout for HKA. You had Unified, you had the Corky and the Jinx late game, and Rise. This game, you had so much late game potential, and so the fact that you're down 3-1, and so I guess it's 3-2. 4-4. Okay, so it was 4-4 at 12 minutes. That's a very bad sign. 4-4, and they had a 2.7k deficit, so they were getting out farmed in lane, and they were just being, when you're being pushed in lane, by the way, with Sivir Yumi, that's a problem. And Nautilus also has quite a bit of wave clear, but I don't like the Nautilus into Corki personally because I think the poke from Corki is too much for Nautilus to handle. But yeah, did not work out. Just too much late game scaling. Didn't get punished enough early in the game, and as you could tell, there wasn't much killing until the very end, where they just won completely. Game two, though, Mad did come back. They played the Kai'Sa Nautilus, one of the strong bot lanes, one of those elite bot lanes I like to call them. And I've never called them that before, so I don't know why I just said that. But yeah, so Kai'Sa Nautilus just dominated. We had Breeze and K. By the way, exact same team from last year, and this for Mad. So you'd hope that they would come back strong, being in first place team, and they did. They did win this series, and they were close again. They had to watch out for the Corki and Sivir scaling, but they also had Zoe, Silas, and Kai'Sa. The Kai'Sa just got really far ahead towards the end of the game with 3, 4, 5. The last 5 kills of the game went to Kai'Sa because she didn't get really far ahead in the laning phase. It was more so, but she was staying even with the Sivir when Sivir has a stronger laning phase than Kai'Sa, and honestly, Sivir kind of has a better late game than Kai'Sa, I think personally, but Kai'Sa has more mobility and more outplay maneuvers than Sivir. Sivir really can't do much to outplay people necessarily, so you can show more higher skill cap on Kai'Sa, which Breeze did. Game number 3, we had just this game was a complete blowout. Not, I don't want to say that it was not a complete blowout because it was only 700 gold lead by 27 minutes, so it definitely wasn't. But it was one of those games where it was always Mad leading, and it always kind of felt like, for some, in my mind at least, maybe it was just me watching it, it always felt like Mad was gonna win this game. It might be because it was Rek'Sai versus Jarvan, which that's not as big of a counter anymore this split, but I think it was just Rock over 3Z going 0-5 on the rise. Rock just dominating with, they had three kills up in the top side of the map before the 12-minute mark. Just seeing Renekton get like snowball out of control and go against something like the Ashe, an immobile ADC, I knew this was going to be a big problem for them. And even Breeze on the bot lane got the 2 kills. They lost the Baron, but they did clean up after that with 4 kills immediately, so the Baron wasn't that big of a factor. And it was all good. Mad starting out the same way they did, where they don't clean sweep a lot of teams. I thought they'd be different this year, but I was wrong. They split. Next series was AHQ versus Flash Wolves. As you could tell, it started out okay for Flash Wolves. It was back and forth. They were getting the objectives. AHQ wasn't, so I was actually pretty happy with that. And then they lost everything. everything. Just Rather had one of the worst Nico games I've ever seen. Hanabi did not get ahead on the Renekton, and as you can tell, not great. Not great when you're losing all these objectives. Just straight blowout. Very good win for AHQ. AHQ also, uh, I believe it's Apex is new here. And HQ for them, they just blew him out again. By the way, Zoe Yumi, very good combo. Betty did. This was a very Betty-like game where he went 7-1, and this was a very Boogie-like game where this is what happens with Zinzao. If Zinzao falls behind early, and he did, double kill for the Jarvan right away for Alex, and then another double kill for Jarvan. So back-to-back double kills for Jarvan before 5 minutes. You're not recovering from that in any scenario if you're Zinzao. You are completely out of the game. And yeah, that's Zinzao's just a very early tempo type jungler, and you need to get ahead quickly with him. He has very good early ganks, and then you need the snowball off that. If your opponent's jungler goes 4-0 and has better teamfight utility with the Jarvan ult, then you and the knock up with the Flag and Dragon, you're kind of screwed. Next game was J Team versus Alpha. I thought Alpha would be looking good. They did not look good at all. This was 19-4, 0 objectives all over the place. The only 2 kills came with at the cost of 3 kills in a tower, 2 kills in a Baron for 1 kill, and 2 towers and a kill for the final Rek'Sai kill as well. So not ideal, one would say. Yeah, Alpha just did not look good. We have Moonblock now in Alpha. I didn't really like that pickup too much because I didn't like him too much in Dragon Gate, and the fact that he's now on Alpha doesn't make me too thrilled. Leaky, by the way, 0-7 on the Aurelia. He's had much better games before. This is not one. And this one as well was kind of a blowout. They at least got 4 towers in this game and 2 dragons, so they got some objectives, but it was still, as you could tell, once they hit that 22-minute mark and J Team was able to win a team fight, take the Baron, and just absolutely move on from there to just secure a nice, solid 2-0 victory for the start of the season. And they, frankly, look really good. Fofo is in prime form, and actually, Rest actually played really good this split as well. On the ranked in last game against the Aurelia, he kind of just destroyed Leaky. Well, I consider Leaky one of the better players on Alpha Esports. And he 0-11 to start the year is not what better players do. Next, we had G-Rex versus Flash Wolves. Flash Wolves coming in again, second series, getting 0-2'd by HQ, and then they lose to G-Rex as well. 0-2 start for Flash Wolves. This might be the year Flash Wolves might not make Worlds. I don't. That's a bold statement. That's too bold for this early in, especially because LMS sends 3 teams to Worlds, and there's only 7 teams in the LMS. So I think they'll be okay. That was too bold by me. Too bold. Jarvan in the rock paper scissors match against Skarner. I love this rock paper scissors between Skarner, Jarvan, and Rek'Sai. And Jarvan beats Skarner, Skarner beats Rek'Sai, Rek'Sai beats Jarvan, and Jarvan absolutely destroyed the Skarner here. And I mean, they just got outplayed simply. Candy is playing. This confused me. I thought Candy was the coach of G-Rex. So when I saw that, I was really confused. Was it Empty that became the coach? Empty moved back to coach. Okay, there we go. I knew a player on G-Rex was I thought it was Candy, but it was Empty is now the head coach or a coach. I don't know if he's the head coach, but okay, because I saw him playing and I was like, they're playing with a coach now? They just don't have a full team to make out? That's okay. That's a little weird, but yeah. So it was just a very good win for G-Rex. They were winning the entire game. Every time they would trade an objective with Flash Wolves, so Flash Wolves never got an advantage rolling. Game number 2, though, Flash Wolves did get a lot of advantages rolling. 24-2, 20k gold lead essentially, not even close. Every team fight went into Flash Wolves' way. I don't think we need to really talk too much about this. 5 kills for 1, 3 kills for 1. That's it. All the rest were just straight blowout. Final game though, G-Rex won with the Ornn, by the way. Ornn 0-3-9, wasn't a fan. It was all about that Silas though. 7-1-3, got the early kill on Oriana, got a kill on Kennen, and just absolutely Oriana died again. So 2 deaths for Rather. He had a pretty rough week in general. Betty also didn't. Betty popped off in a few games, especially on the Sivir. He was looking good, but on the rest of the stuff was only okay. So that'd be interesting, especially with Betty's Ezreal's like the best thing in the LMS, I would say, and maybe what PK's Urgot back at no, that's not even no, yeah, PK's Urgot back when GRX was at LMS. I was thinking of Zero's Urgot as well, but yeah, PK's Urgot was really disgusting at Worlds that one year. Maybe that, but Urgot's been gutted enough for he's not in pro play anymore. Not relevant. They did get a Baron, but yeah, this was not good. Not good to see Flash will start 0-2. Pretty shocking, honestly. I thought they'd start 2-0, but that's what MSI does apparently. Every team outside of G2 has started out slow. Team Liquid's starting to recover a bit. SKT absolutely not. I might go bold enough next week to say SKT's not making Worlds. Like for real. They're in 9th place. 9th. They're 1 win better than Jin Air. Their only win this year is against Jin Air. They haven't beaten a team outside of Jin Air. Think about that. It's insane. But anyway, Mad did take game number. Was this game number 1? Game number 2? I don't even remember. Okay, yeah, it's game number 1. Mad took. I'm like, I don't remember this, but yeah, game number 1. Mad just absolutely at the end here took this Baron. Went from a very close game, the entire game, never within. I mean, Mad was winning the whole time, but it was never over 4K. It was all the way down to 500 gold lead at 39 minutes, so that's completely meaningless. Get the Baron and the Elder though after winning a nice team fight by picking off Sivir and Yumi, and then you just after that you just boom, skyrocket up to a huge 11k gold lead. Fantastic game for Mad. They all played pretty well. It was kind of a boring game. I thought there's, as you can tell, there's just objective trades and not too much skirmishing. But yeah, once the skirmishes started, the game ended. Next as well, J Team did come back from this, and the Skarner beats the Rex. I'm telling you, this is a rock paper scissors thing. It works 100% of the time. Like it almost works 100% of the time. Like if you see a Skarner versus Rek'Sai, if you're a betting man, you're betting on Skarner. If you see Rek'Sai over Jarvan, you're gonna bet on Rek'Sai. If you see Jarvan over Rex or Skarner, you're gonna bet on Jarvan. It's insane how often this happens. Because they're all really meta champions. But yeah, it's not even it's weird because it's not even the games that they do much. They still seem to win. It's a very weird coincidence. I wish I would keep track of actual analytics on this. I'd love to see the results. But this one was all about the bot lane. 0-6 for Breeze and K was not good at all. And yeah, just Uniboy did not have a good game on the Karma. I love the Karma pick because I love the buff to it, but I just think Silas is still very strong until next patch where he gets completely gutted, and then we will not be seeing Silas anymore in pro play unless the enemy has a bunch of ults that can make it work. I think it'll be very situational. I think. I also said that we'd never see Tom Kench again in pro play, and we're still seeing him. Not at the level we used to see him, but still pretty often. J-Team did take game number 3 as well. This was all about the bot lane again. Breeze, I mean, Liv and Koala, 7-0 for Liv, but they survived. You're like, oh, they only got 3 kills in laning phase. But 3 kills in laning phase is also, 1, a lot, and 2, you shouldn't win against Lucian as Kai'Sa early game. So the fact that Kai'Sa got the scaling and Lucian falls off, and accelerated scaling and accelerated falling off, you're sitting like this. So yeah, Mad's bot lane really let them down this split after their first really good victory, our game 1 victory. Finally, we had HKA versus G-Rex in the final series, and G-Rex absolutely got smashed. Like, they go in and they beat Flash Wolf. This is the G-Rex as well from last split. They go in and beat Smash Wolves, Flash Wolves, and then they go immediately and lose the next game to HKA, who I consider a much worse team. And yeah, not this series though. Unified. They HKA loves this quirky Jinx combo. I love it too, especially with Braum. The amount of CC you can pull and the amount of burst late game is just disgusting. I don't think it works very well with the Ranked, except unless you're trying to build a bridge to late game there. But it worked out this game. It worked out this game really well. And the Candy did play pretty well on the Camille mid, but outside of that, Bruce and Yoon, this is way too safe of a lane to go against Jinx. You're just gonna let her free farm and outscale you. Personal criticism for those picks. Candy as well. Candy's had a really good start, honestly, to the year. But he had a good game, but his team lost again. PK went 0-3. Silas is an amazing pick in the LMS. I don't know if it lost. Now that I think about it, it won almost every single time. This game was quite a throw, though, by G-Rex, as you can tell. They took the Baron, they took towers, they're setting up all good, and then they just lost that team fight. They just got picked off, and 4 for 3 there, and then they just instantly lose 2 towers, and you're like, wait a minute, 6k gold lead immediately shoots up to a 2k gold lead, and then all of a sudden they lose another team fight. It's the worst. You can always tell when a team gets, like, when they're really far ahead and then they give up, like, they lose a team fight. 4-3 is not a terrible loss of a team fight. It did cost them 2 towers and inhib, to be fair, but it's not like the end of the world. But the shutdown gold that comes with that from losing from ahead like that, and as well as just the confidence, you're no longer confident to take a risk and like go in there, so you might miss an opportunity that you would have originally had to like say Aurelia saw an opportunity where she can use her ult and dash in, but she was hesitant just that split second. Or Gragas, especially Gragas with his ult was too hesitant for a split second before he shot the ult out. So either he's gonna miss it, or he's just not gonna use. He's gonna miss the opportunity completely, or he's gonna miss the ult and then ruin the opportunity. And that's kind of what happens a lot when teams throw that. And that's what happened here, where they lost. They got 5 kills for 1 and just lost the game. And HKA pulled out their first series victory of the season. So with that, let's go over to our week. These are week 2 power rankings, where J Team has shot all the way up to number 1. I love after the first week, power rankings are very weird, where like where they go to like I don't know what to do, like because if I was wrong, which clearly I was at 2 and 4, all my power rankings have to change obviously because all my picks are obviously wrong because picking first week is usually you're picking off of your power rankings. But yeah, J Team has moved up to number 1. Mad Team's dropped to number 2. I think they're just playing the exact same way they played last split, where they just play down to their opponent's level, drop a few games here and there, but they'll still be fine. Same team. Still very strong for LMS standards. G-Rex number 3, AHQ number and when I say for LMS standards, I don't mean that as like a super insult. I just mean it as in like Mad Team would probably be like a 4th or they'd be like a low tier playoff team, I think, in other regions. Not so like it being number 1 in LMS means like kind of like where you would put like CLG and I was about to say Origin, but no, like shoot, I cannot think of a Splice maybe, or I was gonna say Vitality. Man, I am like blanking on EU, like who's in the middle, because Origin has struggled a little bit. They're 2-2, but like Vitality's like 0-4. But yeah, so like an SK Splice like level for that's about where they are. But yeah, I think they're number 2 in the LMS. J Team's number 1. G-Rex stays at number 3 just because the win against Flash Wolves was really good, but their loss against HKA was really bad, so it kind of just got them stuck there. They had a really good and a really bad, so they kind of cancel each other out. HQ, that's actually supposed to be a green. They moved up to number 4. Flash Wolf drops all the way from number 1 to number 5 because that was a terrible start to their season. HKA did lose to Mad Team, but did take a win off of G-Rex. I felt like I needed to put them up, but I didn't feel comfortable putting them up above Flash Wolves, so I would have put them up to number 5, but there's only 7 teams, so there's not much room you can move up the ladder in the first place. And Alpha has dropped to number 7 after I was so excited for them to start the season. I'm very disappointed with how they finished. They only went 0-1. The season's not over, but they did not look good at all. No, they looked really, really bad against JT. But okay, so let's go to week 3. Let's show week 3. Or no, just kidding. Week 2. Did I put week 3 in the title? I think I put week 2. We'll find out. But yeah, so let's do week 2. And boop. And over here. So Our predictions for week 2. First game is AHQ versus G-Rex. AHQ is coming off of a 1-0 start, and G-Rex is coming off a 1-1 start. This is very interesting because I think that AHQ here with, let's see, I wonder if I can do. No, I'd have to go up here. So yeah, let's go up here. HQ was Ziv in top lane, and then Alex in jungle, Apex in mid. Yeah, because it used to be Rainbow. Got it. I knew Apex was new. Apex looked phenomenal. But G-Rex, I think that PK looks really good, and Candy has also been playing out of his mind. So I'm actually will pick G-Rex here, even though they're 1-1, because I think that with the way Candy played this week was really good. Even in the losses, he was playing really well. That should be able to shut down Apex. And what AHQ did against Flash Wolves is Apex kind of got really fed off of Rather, and because Rather had a very poor first week, and I think that they're not going to be able to play as effectively when their mid laners just snowballing super far ahead. I don't think Candy will allow that, and then PK should be able to take down Ziv in the top lane, and Waco and Ysara I don't think is as good. I think Bruce is much better. Not like much better, but I do think Bruce is the better ADC there. So I think G-Rex in three. So 2-1. Next week I should do this more often so I can show like where the teams are or where the players, where I think the advantage lies. Mad versus Alpha. Game scares me. Mad should easily win this game with Rock. There's or Leaky that doesn't have a kill yet. He's 0-13. Rock had a very good, a few good games. Uniboy, I mean, is way better than Moonblack. I'm gonna go Mad 2-0 just because Uniboy should be just steamrolling through Moonblack and giving the rest of Alpha zero chance to compete with it. But while saying that, you got to remember that Mad Team also really plays down to their opponent's levels. So you could see this team really throw a game or two here against Alpha. They're like the VG Gaming of LMS, but the opposite, where they win their series usually, but it's always in 2-1, where VG always loses 1-2. J Team versus Flash Wolves. It does not get easier for Flash Wolves. J Team looked phenomenal in their first 2 games, 4-1 in games. AHQ actually is the only team 100% left in games. But yeah, 4-1 in games for AHQ, 1-4 for J Team, 1-4 for Flash Wolves. I think that Lilv and Koala, I think I'm saying his name right, are playing phenomenal, and I don't think like they're going to lose badly to Betty. I think that with how bad Rather was playing in week 1, if that I'm just going. It's tough because I'm going off week 1, but I think that J Team's going to take a big advantage of that with Fofo, who's like I think their best player, and I think Fofo is one of the best players in the league. But I think they'll be able to take big advantage of how poor Rather played, and I think this will be a 2-0 by J Team. However, J Team has disappointed me multiple times in the past. And Brock, if you remember Brock hated J Team because they always let him down. But yeah, I think they should be able to take down Flash Wolves 2. Flash Wolves is going to start the season 0-3, which is absurd. That's crazy. Next, HKA versus Alpha. This is a very tough one. I personally think these 2 teams are some of the weakest teams. Yeah, the 2 weakest teams in the league. I'm gonna pick Alpha here, and you're like, if you want a lot of analysis on it, there isn't much. This is more believing. I believed in Alpha earlier in the year, and them losing to J Team, who I have as the #1 team, technically shouldn't drop them as far as I did, but because of they dropped as far as they did because just how bad they looked doing it. However, I'm still going to just assume that's just J Team looking really good this split, and that Alpha will bounce back against HKA. If not, then Alpha's going to be in last place by the end of the split. If they get destroyed to Hong Kong Attitude, then I think it's all over from there. Otherwise, I think it's a pretty 50-50 game. Flash Wolves versus Mad. Like, Flash Wolves. This last week was not the week to go 0-2 against AHQ and G-Rex, because you're going 0-2 this week as well. I think Mad has just all the players. Like I said, the fact that Rather really struggled against Candy, which is totally fine, and Apex, like Rather looked absolutely terrible. Like I'm throwing him under the bus here, but like it looked like who can I put? Hoohee. Pretty much. There you go. It looked like Hoohee last split, where the team loses because of Hoohee on 100 Thieves. Like, you could see the weaknesses, and that was it. Hopefully, he can bounce back, and I think he can. I really do think he can. But this is not the week to do it against Uniboy and Fofo, like the two best mid laners in the league. Like that's like if Huhi's like another NA example with Huhi, like if he just struggled against, like let's say Power Vivo for Candy, and like then he just played against like someone else. I can't even think off the top of my head. But yeah, if he like played against that, and then the next week he was going against Jensen Bjergsen, you would be like, well, it's not going to get much better. So I think he's going to play better. I hope he plays better, but I don't see it. I'm going to put 2-1. Mad will probably throw a game over to Betty because that's what they do. But I don't. There's no way I'm predicting Mad to go have a 4-0 week. That's not going to happen. But I think Mad should still secure it. And Flashville starting out 0-4, dead last in the LMS with only 7 teams. So only 4 teams make playoffs. Still same as last year, but you're gonna have to start recovering soon. With only 7 teams, and if there's like teams like J Team is doing really well, if HQ has a good year and Mad has a good year, all of a sudden like that's 3 teams that you can't beat. So you're gonna be fighting for that 4th position. Final game is J Team versus HQ. I think that this is actually going to be the game of the week, personally, because of just how well HQ just dismantled Flash Wolves and how J Team looked as well. Like this split. HQ, I like or Apex into Fofo. That's a really good matchup. I forgot I was in Discord right there, but that was Brock leaving because I'm full muted. Ziv into Rest is a pretty even matchup. This is going to be really close. Alex versus Hana. Liv and Koala versus Wako. This is going to be a very close matchup, honestly. I am going to favor. I'm gonna pick HQ for this one. A 2-1 series. This is a coin flip, guys. Like they're all pretty much equally matched on each lane. So it's really gonna depend on how. When every lane is equally matched, it really depends, and including a jungler, it depends on how early of. I like to do an early style play with this, so that you play aggressive and you get the snowballs out. So if you're equal with your opponent, if you get a kill early, you should be able to always beat them with that advantage. Almost like a mirror matchup type situation, but just with teams in general. So I think that the better team fighting team would win, and the better team the team that gets ahead first probably is going to win these games. I don't think there will be many throws in this series. So HQ 2-1 nail biter, really close. I wish I can fix this because this is all messed up. It's bugging me. But yeah. Move these here. There we go. All fixed. Nope. Moving it. Yeah, I like them that way anyway, so I'm changing these. But yeah, that is going to be our podcast tonight. Nice 30-minute LMS podcast. Not too bad by myself. Thank you guys for coming to watch LMS. Remember, tomorrow we will be doing LEC. Talk about that. All teams in the LEC, fun fact, are facing someone with the exact same record on Friday. So that will be a very interesting first day of picks. And then obviously on Friday we are going to be doing Wildcard Region, which I am so far behind. I am going to have to speed watch so much of that because I haven't watched a single Wildcard game yet this week. I've been actually busy at work, which kind of puts my I have to put the league stuff aside to do the stuff I'm actually paid to do. I know it's disappointing, but thank you guys for coming to watch, and we will see you tomorrow for the LEC. Good night.